I did a little bit of research a few years ago on Da Vinci, and Da Vinci said that in order to produce the best depth in a painting, the shadow on the ground would be as long as your subject is tall. That's his way of telling us to consider 45-degree lighting. So my first stab at this was to put that light at 45 degrees, up and 45 degrees from the camera, because it's kind of like the ultimate wraparound sort of depth, shape, form, dimension on the face. Even though I brought the face back into the light, I still have a great shadow, a great fall off of light. And then we control the density of the shadow, certainly with what we do with the reflectors. But for position of that light, my beginning stroke is to put that at a 45. And it's just almost always a pretty good place to start. And sometimes you'll leave it there. If people have deep set eyes, you might drop it down a little bit lower. So basically it's a pretty simple shot. It's one light, a roll of paper, her positioned at a 45 to that light, and then two 4x8s that are taped together in the center that are just hinged as a V. One side black, one side white. And that's it. That was a pretty simple setup. Clearly working with the white and the black, there's an advantage and a disadvantage to both. With this gown backed up enough to where I can see all of the gown, I know that the white is the choice because I can see the white reflected in the sequins. But I also wanted to come in close too on that face and then bringing in the black, which just takes light away from that and gives me a negative fill, and it just gives me a little bit more drama. So I can quickly go from one to the other without having to change my setup at all. It's just moving out the white, putting the black in place. You know, for this shot, this model is so great, and I wanted her face to be open. And what I mean by open, I want her face to be more in the light than out of the light. So I was trying to direct her to work just slightly off access to the camera, so she's not flat onto the camera, and with her bringing her face backing up to the light a little bit. And when I do that, also, I think I can direct her to her best attributes and show off her best features by just working with her a little bit, bringing her head back in, watching closely her legs, her arms, her feet. With someone like this, you can't hardly go wrong. It's hard to miss. You know, the beauty of a shot like this is for new photographers especially that don't have a lot of lights. They don't have a lot of money to invest in a lot of lights, and they may be new in a small studio, or they just might be just starting out. If you can find one light source, you're in business. This could be just an umbrella. It's not as big and it won't be as soft as the one I'm working with, but it's still a starting place, and it's something that you could do easily. And keep in mind the 45-degree position. If you start at 45 and up 45, it's a great foundation and a place to begin.